Hello everyone, my name is Kush. I'm here representing Astral Aviation and Astral Aerial Solutions. We are an airline and a drone operator as well. So a bit about Astral Aviation, which is the mother company. We've been operating for 18 years out of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and one of our biggest routes has been to Mwanza, and we've been operating here for a very long time. We're a national carrier, which is designated by the Ministry of Transport in Kenya. And we have scheduled routes all over East Africa and up into Europe as well. We cover most of Mogadishu, Juba, as well as locations in Tanzania as well. So we have international routes into London, into Belgium as well, and I'll be showing you a route structure as well. So, and we have interline agreements with a lot of carriers, and so we do also offer lithium battery shipments as well, just for some of you guys here, yeah. So this is our route structure. So we cover most of East Africa. We do touch into Yemen as well, into Dubai, and into Europe as well as some of West Africa. So recently, one of our objectives was to jump the curve in aviation, was to remove the crew from the equation and switch to unmanned aviation. So we began to look at this in 2016, and we're happy to announce that we're still here, although we've had some regulatory issues, but our verticals in our business include an ROC, which is an RPAS operating certificate, which would then include your large cargo drone operation, your inspection, agriculture, and whatnot from there. A training academy with our affiliates in South Africa, and a DJI resale and repair center in Kenya. So I'm here today to talk a little bit more about the case for cargo drones, large cargo drones for humanitarian relief. Most of these are already pretty much done by manned aircraft, but we'll see greater savings if it were to be done with unmanned. So that is the goal. We look to do relief cargo, medical vaccines, large blood deliveries, and amongst other food deliveries as well. That's not only the end, it's also commercial services to assist with oil and gas and postal e-commerce for large courier deliveries as well. So you must be interested to know what platform we intend to use, and we've got two options for the heavy lift cargo drones, one being the Falcon F250, which has a 250 kilo maximum payload, a 1500 kilometer range, and it can land on short airstrips as well. I see our friend from safety must be quite worried about this operation, but it will definitely work. So the next solution we have is the Flyox cargo drone, which I'm sure a lot of you might have already known about. But it's got a 4,000 kilo maximum takeoff weight, including the aircraft, with a 1.8 ton payload, a 1,200 kilometer range. And this aircraft is unique. It also looks a bit like a boat as well, and in the future it will be landing in water and taking off as well. So it will be amphibious. So a market comparison, this aircraft falls somewhat in between the Cessna Caravan Twin Otter size. On an empty payload, you're hitting an endurance of more than 35 hours, and in a really long range as well. So obviously the numbers reduce with the more payload and destinations and altitude as well. So I'll give you a bit more about the Flyox update. The aircraft recently flew in Northern Europe. It did a small pilot project there to test certain scenarios at sea level and such. So they performed 3 successful test flights. They were autonomous takeoff, landing, and partial taxi as well. The takeoff distances achieved were less than 500 meters, and the distance traveled per flight were around 260 kilometers. 0 technical issues were found after each flight, so it was a success, and the very important one, they were operationally capable in 1 hour. This means that you could pretty much, in an emergency crisis, be ready extremely quickly to assist the WFP and other agencies as well. So these are some of the routes they covered in Northern Europe. So you can see there were several holding patterns that were done as well, because this was at an airport. So they did have to work together with manned aviation and work around those operations as well. So these all covered around 260 kilometers and flew over the ocean, both day and night operations as well, and fully autonomous takeoff and landing. So some of the advantages that we see as an airline, first of all, it's cost effective because you're removing the crew, so that's obviously one reduction, but after you also require a reduction in fuel costs because this aircraft actually uses petrol. It uses 2 car engines, so again we see greater operational reductions. Flexibility in flight scheduling is a big one. 1 hour operational capable, so you can, emergency situations, it's well developed for that. Obviously the ability to land in any surface, so again, that's landing at a beach. And fewer crew requirements. The crew usually complain a lot. We're used to that as an operator, so might as well keep them on the ground. So I've got a quick video for you guys to show you the aircraft actually flying with a camera on board. It's a quick 2-minute video of a takeoff and a landing as well. So I hope today that we've shown you that larger cargo drones are out there. They'll be hitting the market fairly soon, and we will be using them in Kenya and around East Africa as well. So thank you for your time, and I'll just play you a quick video. Just a quick flight over the ocean, and then it'll turn back and come in for a landing. We're in Northern Europe in Norway. That's right. So that was the loud noise of the V8 car engines. They're actually Corvette engines, for those of you who like your cars. And again, this landing is fully autonomous. A bit of a bouncy landing, but a landing nevertheless. There's one bounce, and there we go. Okay, there we go. We have the Flyox back on the ground, safe for you as well, and I'll pass it on to Cliff from here.